Emiliano Vargas is fighting tomorrow night, and I really encourage you guys to check this kid out because I believe he's the next big thing in the sport of boxing. He fights at 140. Tomorrow he's fighting. I've watched Emiliano for most of his professional career, and he's impressed me. You know, he's passed the eye test in my opinion. You know, he's got everything. He's got the charisma, he's marketable, and he hits hard. He's got an exciting Mexican style that he has, and he's young. You know, he's young. He's got a lot of enthusiasm. He's got a good personality. So I think if you're looking for somebody to watch, you know, and you want to get behind somebody, no Diddy, and you want to support a new boxer and, you know, watch his career progress, there's no better fighter than Emiliano because he's one of the best fighters I've seen, you know, from Top Rank. I think he's one of those big names, one of those prospects that's still one of those guys that's going to draw a lot of money in for Top Rank. You know, obviously this is looking like it's going to be Top Rank's last show, so that's another reason to watch this card. Xander Zayas is on it, and so is Bruce Shushu Carrington. So make sure you guys tune in. It's going to be interesting. But Emiliano's talented. He's good. You know, he has a YouTube channel. You can check all that stuff out. But this kid's got the goods, you know, for sure. He's got a good left hook. He's very similar to Ryan Garcia. I don't want to compare him to Ryan Garcia, but you can't help but do it. You know, he's Mexican. And, you know, ultimately, Fernando Vargas is his dad. So a lot of people, you know, criticize him, saying, you know, he's a daddy's boy and whatnot. He's a Nepo baby, whatever the case may be. But seeing Emiliano fight, he's the real deal. I spoke to him the other day. You know, he was on his plane from Vegas to New York, and we were talking about his fight, and he's ready to go. You know, he's very excited. He doesn't care that he's not the main event. It's honestly better for us, you know, viewers and fans, because we get to watch him fight earlier than the main event. You know, the main event's going to be Xander, and Shushu's on the card as well. So there's going to be some good boxing tomorrow night, but you guys should definitely try to tune in if you guys have the time. If you guys have the chance to, you know, check out these new guys, the younger generation in the sport of boxing. I feel like people have to, you know, do their work and ultimately check these guys out, because you don't want to be, you know, the last one on the hype train. You want to be there from the start. And Emiliano's really good, you know, fights out of the orthodox stance. He's a good fighter, has a good left hook, like I said, straight right hand. He's got power, he has speed, and like I said, you know, he has the talent and the personality to take it a long way in the sport. And, you know, I feel like I have a good eye for talent. Like, I can tell when a fighter is going to be, you know, talented, or if, you know, he's kind of going to be a fluke. I think Emiliano Vargas is the real deal. So make sure you check him out. He's fighting tomorrow night on ESPN on the Xander Zayas, and, you know, Shushu Carrington. All those guys are going to be on that card. So make sure you tune into that one if you're not that involved in boxing. If you guys just want to check out a new prospect, make sure you check out Emiliano Vargas tomorrow night on ESPN. You know, he's fighting at 140. This kid's got the goods, and, you know, he will impress you guys tomorrow night. He's fighting a difficult style also. He's fighting a mover tomorrow, so we can see how well he cuts the ring off, you know, his patience. And although he's a little bit green, you know, like all prospects are, let's see how he deals with, you know, a little bit of frustration. Maybe not a stylistic matchup that is conducive for a knockout from Emiliano, but still, you know, he's got the goods. Like I said, he should have the tools, the experience, and the ability to listen to his father, Fernando Vargas, you know, who's a legend, a Hall of Famer, and ultimately, you know, he has the experience. So it's all about receiving that information from his pops and, you know, putting on a good show, because that's all he really cares about. He wants to put on a show for the fans. Emiliano's already a big draw, but like I said, if you don't watch boxing, then maybe you don't know Emiliano Vargas is fighting tomorrow night. But you guys should definitely check it out. Tune in. It's something to be excited about, because he's always fun to watch. And, you know, he always puts on exciting performances where he's, you know, hurting his opponents. He's got the hand speed. He's got the, you know, the charm and whatnot. So tune in. It's going to be interesting. Want to watch Shushu collect his title. I think he's going to get the job done. Xander's fighting, like I said. So, you know, Top Rank, this is their last outing on ESPN. So it's kind of like a farewell, and hopefully they go out with a bang, and Emiliano is able to put on, you know, another knockout performance, because this kid's been knocking a lot of guys out. You know, anyone they put in front of him, he's been able to stop and hurt these guys. So shout out to Emmy. You know, he's a good fighter, good dude. And, you know, hopefully he becomes that next Ryan Garcia. Who knows? He looks really focused. You know, he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke. So, you know, he's one of those guys that's really locked in on boxing, and he's focused. So, you know, we talk about the Ryan Garcia comparisons, but ultimately this kid, like, he's disciplined. He's disciplined, he's hardworking, and he loves boxing, and he wants to be great. You know, he has everything it takes to take it to that next level. So tune in to Emiliano Vargas fighting tomorrow night. Check it out, guys. He's a great fighter, a great person. So shout out to him, and good luck to him. So let me know in the comments if you guys know him, if you guys are gonna check him out. But thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next NAS Boxing video. Peace.